Pleasure and honor to introduce to you our president of Springfield College, Dr. Richard B. Flynn.
Thank you, Rob, those generous words and for your excellent service as student trustee this past year. Many of us have also enjoyed your good music that you and your classmates have provided in so many settings for the last 4 years. Greetings to members of the class of 2013, parents, brothers and sisters, parents, our grandparents, guardians, members of the faculty, staff, alumni, trustees, and friends. Today's ceremony marks my 15th and final baccalaureate service here at Springfield College, and I extend my heartfelt thanks to the class of 2013 for inviting me to deliver this year's baccalaureate address. I am very much planning to enjoy our time together as both you and I confront and consider our next stage of our life's journey. When I asked a number of you for direction today, your counsel was helpful. Don't be too long and don't be too serious. But you added some words of wisdom, and advice would also be welcome. Perhaps advice I would be giving myself if I were sitting in your chair. Well, no self-respecting college president would ever permit a senior class to escape from the campus without some words of advice. I'm no exception, but I will heed your counsel. So members of the class of 2013, this is very much your day, your weekend. It's true that the formal ceremonies at the Mass Mutual Center await you tomorrow morning. But this baccalaureate service is really the last time we gather together in relative intimacy on this beautiful and historic Naismith Green, which has become so familiar to all of us. It's a day of remembrance, of congratulations and best wishes, of families and friends. The focus clearly is on you, and that spotlight is very well deserved. You might be surprised that I consider myself to be graduating with you tomorrow. It's just taken me a little longer. Perhaps maybe because of my advanced age, I've been on a slower learning curve. Or maybe, just maybe, it's because I've been having too much fun. But as most of you know, I did give my retirement notice a couple of years ago, then withdrew it due to some major building acquisitions, later giving cause for some unexpected programming and recovery efforts from Mother Nature. Mother Nature's tornado and nor'easter snowstorm that was in October that same year. But you may not know, a few members in your class also influenced me to stay on a little bit longer, to stay on for their and for your graduation, and I'm so glad that I did. However, notwithstanding that tongue-in-cheek front-page story that was published in the April Fool's edition of the Springfield Student, I am indeed now really retiring after nearly 50 years in the field of higher education, the past 14 and a half here at Springfield College. The etymologists in the audience today, no doubt, know that the origin of the word baccalaureate are from the Latin baccalaureatus. That's 3 years of Latin does for you. The word originally was used to describe not the service itself, but the farewell address, often a sermon that was offered during the service. Well, today I'm bidding you members of the class of 2013 farewell, though certainly not goodbye forever. We very much hope that your relationship with this college will be lifelong, and as a valued alum, you will come back often. And while I will be offering a few parting words of advice to you, a president's perspective after all, I promise to avoid sermonizing. Mrs. Flynn and I first had the opportunity to individually greet members of this class in our backyard at the ice cream socials. As we shook hands with each one of you, you introduced yourself, said where you were from, and shared your intended majors. Hard to believe that was 4 years ago. And later that same evening, many of you answered the question, why Springfield College? And shared your hopes and aspirations for those next 4 years. And I remarked to Mrs. Flynn at the time that this particular class seemed to bubble with potential. Since then, we have observed firsthand many of you beginning to realize those hopes and expectations. Those of you we talked to recently at senior socials, at our home, or at other gatherings have been anxious to tell us just how much you've enjoyed your time at Springfield College. We are amazed at what you have accomplished. You should take pride in those accomplishments, and you can approach the next stage of your life with real confidence. And I must say, With your record of achievement in 4 short years, and with your new Springfield College degree in hand, I'm extremely optimistic about the impact you're going to be making in your lifetime. So to you members of the class of 2013, the last class which I'll preside over the conferring of degrees, please accept my sincere congratulations and my profound appreciation for the many outstanding contributions you've made to the college since your time here. There's some other people here today who share much like I do, that pride with your accomplishments and also share confidence regarding your future. First, the members of the faculty and staff. You know, they've chosen to come to this college for some of the same reasons that you came here. Small classes, solid academic programs supported by excellent facilities, a wide range of student activities, a mission that doesn't just exist but is lived by students, faculty, and staff. They have supported your living and learning experience while you've been here, and you'll continue to feel their impact and benefit from their influence throughout your lifetime. I also have learned a great deal from them. When I spend time with alumni throughout the United States or abroad, I find that the vast majority of them have stories to tell about when they attended Springfield College, share their experiences here and how they adopted our mission as their own. They love to tell these stories, and we love to listen to them. The stories tell us a lot about them, and they tell us a lot about this college that they and we love so much. More than not, members of our faculty and staff are at the center of those stories. And so class of 2013, as you flip your tassel and transition from being a student to becoming an alum tomorrow, we anticipate that you will join the ranks of these storytellers. And I would suspect members of today's faculty and staff will be featured in many of those stories. At this time, I'd like to ask the faculty and staff to stand so that the class of 2013 can join the rest of us and show our thanks and our appreciation for all their dedication, commitment, and for all that you all do to benefit this year's graduating class. Also, I'm very pleased to introduce my partner in life and wife of many years, who's not only been the loving mother to our 3 children and our 9 grandchildren, but also an asset to the college in so many ways. Her mark in the interior design and finishes of so many of the new and renovated buildings, and much of the artwork, including the pictures of students that cover the hallways within these buildings, there's a great deal of those was a result of her ideas and her labor. And I doubt if a day goes by that she hasn't talked about or applauded our students. And she is without question one of the class of 2013's biggest supporters and loudest cheerleaders. Janie, would you please stand and be recognized? Now, let me introduce my other boss. Doug Koop is chair of our Springfield College Board of Trustees. He, along with his board colleagues, give freely of their time, their expertise, and their treasure in support of this college. Doug was a member of the class of 1966 and a starting member of the undefeated 1965 SC football team. Chair Koop is participating in our commencement ceremonies this weekend, and he's here with his wife, Vivian. Doug, would you please stand, receive our thanks for the leadership that you and your trustee colleagues have for this college. Tomorrow morning, the entire graduating class will have an opportunity to thank those family members that assisted them to get to this point. Now for a bit of that promised advice. Advice that may sound quite simple, yet advice that can have a positive influence in your life. First 3 words that I've used for a long time about individuals whom I care about, including all of you the first time we met at those same ice cream socials in the backyard. You should remember those 3 words, and I think many of you do. Perhaps my favorite 3 words of advice: make wise choices. Your happiness, success, and future will be influenced by the choices you make. And that impact will not be limited to you alone. The happiness, success, and the future of others, many of whom you will love dearly, will also be influenced by these choices. One of my all-time favorite authors of children's book put it this way, and I quote, "You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street." End of quote. The author, Theodore Seuss Geisel, or perhaps you know him best, as do I, my children, and our grandchildren, simply as Dr. Seuss. And I hope all of you don't leave here without knowing that the author of these some 100 books grew up just about a mile that way from this campus on famed Mulberry Street. In fact, one of his books, And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street. This quote came anyway from his last book, published prior to his death, entitled, Oh, the Places You'll Go, a popular graduation gift. So take Dr. Seuss's advice and use your head full of brains and make wise choices about the streets of life on which you choose to travel. Along with the propensity to make good choices, another quality you'll need in abundance is resiliency. How resilient you are, how well you adjust to change, and especially to adversity, will in large part determine how successful you are throughout life. It is resiliency, dealing with the difficult times in a proactive, positive way, that will win the day for you. And applying your Springfield College education will help you develop that resiliency to handle adversity and unwelcome events, just as it will help you prepare to become an agent of change, an agent of positive change, and play your part in helping change the world for the better. There's a larger point here. In the words of author Leo Buscaglia, and I quote, an investment in life is an investment in change. When you're changing all the time, you've got to continue adjusting to change, which means that you're always going to be facing new obstacles. That's the joy of living. And once you are involved in the process of becoming, there's no stopping. You're doomed. You're gone. But what a fantastic journey. End of quote. Also, while on that fantastic journey, take time to seek and maintain balance in your life. Give regular attention to feeding your body, mind, and spirit, all of which those of us at Springfield College know so well are interrelated. Take good care of your body and health. Engage continuously in learning new things and nurture your spirit, because an enriched spirit can heal the body and stimulate your intellect. A balanced life provides the foundation for a successful life, and a satisfying way to keep a busy life in balance is taking time to provide service to others. Resilience and balance are referred to in that same book I mentioned by Dr. Seuss, and I quote, you'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with some strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. In all that you do, be guided by integrity. What does that mean exactly? Living a life with integrity means holding those values that society over time has found to be important, like honesty, kindness to others, keeping promises, being responsible, and living those standards and making choices based on those standards every day. And when your values and your actions correspond and align, you're being authentic and value-driven. And that's what integrity is all about, walking the walk and talking the talk. And along with integrity, consider the golden rule. If you remember nothing else from these remarks, remember this timeless rule: do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. That's one piece of advice I can remember offered often to my brother, my sister, myself growing up many, many decades ago. As Rob mentioned during his introductory remarks, the class of 2013 was one of the first classes to benefit during your entire time here from a decade of extensive building and renovation projects. Most of these facility improvements were made possible by the success of a major fundraising campaign, which concluded just prior to your freshman year, of which our Board of Trustees played a very major part. As I've often said, facilities are to facilitate programs. And these additions to and improvements in our facilities have enabled us to enhance and or add to our academic program, to enrich our athletic and other student activity and co-curricular programs as well. During your time here, you've helped us celebrate the 10th anniversary of Humanics in Action Day, and later, the 125th anniversary of our college's founding. More recently, Charlie Sullivan was pretty modest, the men's volleyball team, with the class of 2013 very well represented, captured back-to-back NCAA championships, showing real class in the process. There have only been 2 sanctioned Division III National Volleyball Championships thus far, and we have won them both. And And I don't think Mrs. Flynn and I have had a more enjoyable trip than our trip to Rochester to watch, I think, Mike and Greg and the rest, Mike and some of the other colleagues of yours experience great success. And when you look back at your college days, 5, 10, 30 years from today, you will undoubtedly remember how Mother Nature paid us a couple of visits during 2011, delivering some of those bizarre weather surprises. It began on June 1 with that hard-to-believe tornado and ended in late October with that snowstorm, the nor'easter. But I hope you'll also remember the campus's speedy recovery, as Rob alluded to. With admirable resilience and with the invaluable help of many of you, we repaired that extensive damage in actually record time. The volunteer offers and efforts of so many of our students, so many of you, during that time period spoke well of the service aspect of our humanics philosophy. Our clear emphasis on service to others is the one thing that sets this college apart from so many others. Our mission, educating the whole person in spirit, mind, and body for leadership and service to others, gives us a clear, unified sense of purpose and serves as a touchstone for many of our decisions, the choices we make every day. Humanics is timeless and will never diminish in relevance or to go out of fashion. For me, and I hope for you, this is one of the unique, distinguishing, and defining characteristics of Springfield College. A very special visitor to our campus made a similar point nearly 50 years ago. It was 1964, and the invited guest was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Reverend King came to Springfield College directly from a jail cell in Florida to deliver an inspiring commencement address in which he said, and I quote, "As I stand here, I certainly feel a deep sense of appreciation for all that this college has meant to the cultural and humanitarian life of our nation and the world. And I'm deeply aware of this rich and great tradition," end quote. Before closing, I'd like to share a 300-year-old quotation that I've used in nearly every one of the baccalaureate welcomes I've extended. For some of the faculty and staff members here who've been here for a while, please bear with me as I offer it now to members of the class of 2013 as they prepare for this new stage in their life. The quotation comes from John Wesley, the founder of the United Methodist Religion. I don't think I could provide you with any guidance that's more consistent with the long-standing mission of Springfield College. So listen, if you will, and try to imagine what your life would be like if you followed these simple rules. Or better yet, what life on this planet might be like if everyone followed John Wesley's rules of living. And I quote, "Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can." Close quote. In closing, Mrs. Flynn and I thank members of the class of 2013 for the significant role you've played in our lives and in our continuing education. Like you, we have learned a great deal during our years here. Few colleges offer the number and the variety of leadership opportunities as does Springfield College. We've enjoyed so much bearing witness and have been in awe of your participation, performance, and leadership in the classroom, in athletics, in theatrical, musical, and dance productions, within your student organizations, CAB, Best of Broadway, SGA, Student Senate, celebrating the SC traditions, and the list goes on and on. And it seems that some of you have been involved in practically every one of these activities. Our students are blessed with so many opportunities to get involved and to lead. And our college is so blessed with so many multi-talented students. Be assured that your experiences here, your leadership experiences while here, will continue to nourish your humanic spirit and provide you with the tools necessary to provide leadership and service to others in your work and in your community. As you prepare to leave this special place, our prayer for you is that your journey through life will be guided by wise choices, a resilient spirit, and unwavering integrity, leading to a life blessed with good health, lasting happiness, and selfless acts of service to humankind. Your families have given you roots, and now your college gives you wings. Know that you'll be living here with a value-laden education and with friendships and wonderful memories that will indeed last you a lifetime. God bless and Godspeed. Thank you.